Hello everybody, this is Refresh and I'm here to do a sealed deck for Innistrad Midnight Hunt. At the time that I bought these were actually cheaper than buying 6 packs, so we're going to do a full pre-release kit based sealed deck. We'll open this up and see what's inside. Promo is an overgrown farmland. We also have an arena code, a card divider, and 6 packs. We'll open these and see what we have inside. Harvesttide Sentry, Neonate's Rush, Unblinking Observer, Blood Pact, Bounding Wolf, Blessed Defiance, Candle Trap, Moonrager Slash, Defenestrate, Shady Traveler, Stalking Predator, Foul Play, Storm Skrillex, Devoted Gravekeeper, Departed Soulkeeper, Siphon Insight, a Plains and Helper card and another Helper card. Then we have a Drownyard Amalgam, Rotten Reunion, Pestilent Wolf, Evolving Wilds, Larder Zombie, Homestead Courage, Stolen Vitality, Eccentric Farmer, Baithook Angler, and Hook Haunt Drifter, Gavany Dawnguard, Purifying Dragon, Heirloom Mirror and Inherited Fiend, Geist Flame Reservoir, Swamp, and a Voldarin Ambusher, as well as a zombie token and helper card. Then we have a Diregraph Horde, Path to the Festival, Thraben Exorcism, Geist Wave, Arrogant Outlaw, Return to Nature, Clarion Cathars, Raise the Effigy, Revenge of the Drowned, a Tireless Hauler, which is also a Dire Strain Brawler, Dissipate, a Vampire Socialite, a Brood Weaver, a Poppet Stitcher, a Mountain, a Vampire token, and a Helper card. We have Abandon the Past, Startle, Olivia's Midnight Ambush, Howl of the Hunt, Celestis Sanctifier, Component Collector, Ritual Guardian, Burn the Accursed, Immolation, Harvesttide Infiltrator and Harvesttide Assailant, Fading Hope, Corpse Cobble, Fangblade Brigand, which is also a Fangblade Eviscerator, Fateful Absence, an Island, a tip card, and a helper card. We have a Crawl from the Cellar, Duel for Dominance, Stuffed Bear, Stormrider Spirit, No Way Out, Bramble Armor, Sungold Barrage, Famished Foragers, Eaten Alive, Lunarch Veteran, Luminous Phantom, Arcane Infusion, Infernal Grasp, Covetous Castaway, Ghostly Castigator, Galvanic Iteration, Plains Zombie Token Helper card. We have a Pax Betrayal, Shipwreck Sifters, Duress, Timberland Guide, Silverbolt, Cathar Commando, Festival Crasher, Shadow Beast Sighting, Ecstatic Awakener, Awoken Demon, Necrosynthesis, Join the Dance, Baneblade Scoundrel / Baneclaw Marauder, Grafted Identity, Forest, Rem Carolus Stalwart Slayer, Beast, and a helper token. Alright, let's take it color by color here. We have a handful of additional multicolor cards. Cathar Commando is fine. Lunarch Veteran is a good value, especially because the other side is pretty cool. Sungold Barrage is okay removal. Fateful Absence is probably good enough, even though giving your opponent an Investigate is not amazing. Ritual Guardian is just mediocre. Celestis Sanctifier, probably just mediocre as well. Clarion Catharos are okay. You get 2 bodies. That's helpful towards the Coven effect if that's what you're going for. Thraben Exorcism is sideboard. Gavany Dawnguard is pretty good. I think it's a decent body. Probably the strongest because it can get us extra cards. Homestead Courage is fine in an aggressive deck. I don't know if this deck is aggressive enough, but it does get a little bit of extra play. Candle Trap is just okay. Not the best removal because it stays as a undefeatable blocker for a while, so would not like to play it, but maybe I would if I have to. Blessed Defiance is probably a super aggro card. So white is okay. There's some okay cards here, but it's not super exciting. White also gets us into the good Graph Keeper as well as the Join the Dance. So and Rem Carolus Stalwart Slayer. So there are some cards here that do motivate white. Probably Rem Carolus is the highest motivating factor of all of the white cards here. Grafted Identity is reasonably good. You do have to sacrifice a creature to steal your opponent's creature, which is not amazing, but if you can sacrifice a Decayed Zombie, that's not the worst thing in the world, so this is kind of like a maybe good depending on what's in your deck. Sifters is okay. Covetous Castaway has a Disturb effect. It becomes a 3/4 flyer. Seems okay. Stormrider Spirit is just okay. I mean, I'd probably play it as a 23rd card if I needed to. Fading Hope could be pretty good. I think it's a nice bounce spell. Component Collector, probably not going to play that. Startle, in certain decks, maybe some kind of instant and sorcery deck, that might be good. The Poppet Stitcher, it becomes a Poppet Factory. Oh, that is a way to power up your Decayed cards. So there's some possibility here that these might be strong enough if I can get enough Decayed effects. Dissipate is not amazing, but you know, there's a place for it out of the sideboard. Revenge of the Drowned, yeah, it's kind of removal. It's kind of gets the Decayed Zombie. There's another bounce card. Not the worst here. Baithook Angler. So 2 that becomes a 1/2 flyer. Yeah, I mean it's not amazing, but still it's a bit of value and I like that. Larder Zombie. This is not what I want to be playing. I mean I might if I have to, but I really don't want to be playing that. Drownyard Amalgam. You have to mill when you play it. Okay. I mean if there's some sort of graveyard synergy, then this could be pretty good. And it's a reasonable defensive body, so I might play it if I have to. Unblinking Observer. This is good in the instant and sorceries deck only. But that's a deck, you know, that wants things like Startle, so maybe this could work. I think it has more potential than white. Blue also gets us into the Devoted Graphkeeper deck with white. You can also get into some kind of multicolor deck with spells, it looks like is the theme here. Flashback is sorceries cost less. Yeah, so if I have enough instants and sorcery stuff, then this might be a deck too. Alright, the Scoundrel. It's a pretty aggressive card. And then the other side is even more aggressive, so I'd probably play this just for stats. If I can get this on a creature, I think it can be pretty good. Ecstatic Awakener transforms into a 4/4 if I sacrifice another creature. Again, this could be good in a deck with Decayed Zombies, or a deck where I can steal my opponent's stuff. Dress is strictly sideboard. Infernal Grasp is just a good removal spell. Eaten Alive is a reasonable removal spell, because you can, again, use those Decayed Zombies if I can get enough of them. No Way Out is not the best way to get Decayed, but yeah, there's some place for this, I think. And then Crawl from the Cellar. You can get 2 cards back with this, so there's some argument that maybe it's an okay card. Olivia's Midnight Ambush. Removal, not the best removal, but it is removal. Arrogant Outlaw. I don't think I want to be playing this, but you know, maybe I'll play it if I need like those extra cards that just get me over the top. I do like the Diagraph Horde. Getting those extra zombies does mean that I can get more of those sacrifice effects going, so it's probably worth it if I'm going to play any of these zombie things. Heirloom Mirror. This is a way to get some value, then it transforms into a 4/4 flyer. Feels like it's a little slow, but I might consider playing this if I need something that gives me some card advantage, or card filtering at least. Rotten Reunion is a sideboard card against the decks that play out of the graveyard. Foul Play is another removal spell. Okay. Shady Traveler, a 2/3 that becomes a 4/4. It's okay. It's not amazing, but I guess I could play this as an extra body. Probably in the same lane as Arrogant Outlaw here. Defenestrate, another removal spell. We have a lot of removal, so that makes me want to play this. Blood Pact is some card advantage at the end. So I think black is pretty strong. There's a lot of decent stuff here. There's not a lot of ways of generating zombies, but it's something. We can also get a Vampire Socialite if we play black, so that's interesting. And we have 2 black and blue cards as well in Corpse Cobble, which you can sacrifice creatures to make an even bigger, gigantic zombie. And then grab some card draw, I guess, with Siphon Insight, which you can repeat. So there's something there. I think black and blue are both pretty strong. I don't think white's in contention if I have to choose right now. Although, again, we have Rem Carolus as an option if I do end up going white. Let's see how red fares. Alright, we have a Festival Crasher. This is an instant or sorcery card, which, you know, there's some instant and sorcery stuff going on here. Pax Betrayal, this is exactly what you want if you're going to be sacrificing your own stuff, so this is good with black. Famished Foragers. I don't know, I guess this is a nice aggressive card if you're like doing the vampire aggressive thing. Fangblade Brigand is a 4 mana that gets +1/+0 first strike. That's pretty annoying. Yeah, I think this is a pretty strong card, just stats wise. It's pretty good. Harvesttide Infiltrator is, I think, just medium. Definitely not an exciting card, but it might make the deck at some point. Immolation is kind of like a weird removal spell that I might play. Probably would play it, actually. But I might burn that out, or side that out, depending on what I see. This is a very slow removal spell, but I think you always need at least one of these, of something like that, if you're playing this color. 2 target creatures can't block this turn. Only for super aggressive. Raise the Effigy. It's also kind of like a mediocre trick. Voldaren Ambusher enters the battlefield. He deals X damage to 1 target creature. Is the number of vampires. Okay, so this is like a vampires card. We need a lot of vampires for that to be good. Guy's Flame Reservoir is an instant or sorcery card. We do have a lot of instants and sorcery things, so we may really want to consider a red-blue deck if we have enough of the stuff to make this worthwhile. Although this is really slow, so I don't know if it's quite good enough. Putrefying Dragon, yeah. I mean, a 5 mana 4/3 flyer that deals damage when it attacks seems good. Probably would play that in any red deck. Stolen Vitality, I think it's just okay combat trick. Probably on the better end of combat tricks, but still just a combat trick. Moonrager Slash, definitely playing that. Nice removal spell. And then Neonate's Rush. Yeah, I guess this is a vampire card. It's kind of expensive, but it does replace itself, so it could also fit into the spells deck. So, I don't know. Red has some potential here. There's like some support stuff going on. So, maybe. Now take a look at green. Shadow Beast Sighting. I mean, there's value here, but it's kind of slow. It's a mediocre card. Timberland Guide can be pretty good. Bramble Armor is just okay. Duel for Dominance. You have to do Coven, so that's a little tricky, but it is kind of removal, so probably you want to play that. Howl for the Hunt. It's kind of like a trick, so that sticks. I guess that's okay. Broodweaver. Yeah, it's 2 bodies. When it dies, you get another body back. Tireless Hauler. It's just stats. Not even that great of stats, like medium stats. I don't think I want to play that. Well, I probably would play that if I have to, but just the body. Return to Nature is for the sideboard. Path to the Festival is a ramp card. Don't know that we are ramping into anything, but if that turns out to be the case, then I guess we'd play this. Or if we're fixing, I guess. It's another way to fix as well. Eccentric Farmer. Okay, it is a way to get stuff in my graveyard and then pull it back out. Again, this is for a particular deck. Pestilent Wolf. That's kind of annoying. That's a decent annoying 2-drop. Something I probably would play in most decks. Bounding Wolf. It has Flash. I guess that's okay. Harvesttide Sentry. Just a medium 2-drop that is probably entirely replaceable. Okay, I don't think green's very strong. There's nothing here that really makes me want to play it. And so I think green and white are out, which means that Join the Dance and Overgrown Farmland are also out. I don't think I want to play white just to get Rem in there. We'll probably play the Evolving Wilds for sure. The Bear, probably not. The Silverbolt, probably not as well. I think there's enough stuff going on. So we'll probably not play these either. So we're kind of looking at the Grixis color groups. So let's see what we have among them. Let's start with a black and blue deck. These are cards that I don't really want to play. Let's see if there's enough stuff with black. Yeah, at this point, I don't have a lot of bodies, so I might just need to play like low grade cards for black and blue to work. As you can see, there's actually way more spells than there are creatures, and I'm not sure that in a sealed deck this is going to work out to a winning strategy. We do have some pretty strong stuff. Like Puppet Stitcher is very exciting, although probably better in a Instants and Sorceries deck. So maybe let's take a look at that. Black is just chock full of removal though, which is like all removal, and then, you know, some other random cards. So let's see what a red blue deck looks like first before we keep going here. Probably wouldn't play these two anyways. And now they're doing the Instants and Sorceries, you might want to play that as well. I think these are still not good enough to get played. This seems like a much more even deck. It's still very heavy on spells, but that's kind of what this deck is trying to do anyways. Not to mention, that is also a thing. It's not a lot of creatures. I think all the colors didn't get there in terms of creatures, but this feels better. So I think this is the direction I'm going to go. We could splash something black, but I don't know that it's worth it, especially with all the stuff that we have already going on. So I think we're just gonna leave black alone and then build this deck. So we gotta make some cuts. So we have 27 cards, not counting lands, and so we'll need to make 4 cuts here. We need Instants and Sorceries, and kind of want to lean towards that kind of being the theme of the deck, because we have enough things that care about that it'll matter. And then we might need to cut some bodies just to have something going on here. So like I might cut this, but we're really low on creatures, so let's take a look here. We're going to cut Immolation. It's not an instant or sorcery, even though it's removal. This copies, this draws, so that's good. Startle can make a decayed creature, and it draws a card, so I like that. I don't know about Stolen Vitality. Geist, probably Geist Wave sticks around. Stolen Vitality is a maybe. This is on the brink, just because it's doing a little less than everything else. Pax Betrayal works well with the Grafted Identity, so I do want to hold on to that. Slash is of course going to get played. The Geist Flame Reservoir I think is going to get played. Neonate's Rush, I think because it can draw itself, is worth it. Grafted Identity is going to get played. Revenge of the Drowned is going to get played. And Burning the Curse is probably going to get played. So there are choices to be made here. I'm going to cut... I'm probably going to cut Stolen Vitality just because it's the least interesting of this pack. Although maybe I'm supposed to get rid of like Fading Hope or Pax Betrayal. I only need that for the Grafted Identity. Let me take a look at the creatures again. Festival Crasher can be good. Whenever you discard a spirit card or a card with Disturb, it gets a counter. we're not doing that much. We have what, 2 disturb cards and 2 spirits, and the 3rd spirit if we include the Stormrider spirit. I think we just need these guys as bodies to be defensive until we can get our instants and sorceries thing going. This gets stuff back. That's a pretty good top body there. So yeah, I'd probably play these. We might just need the Infiltrator as a body. I kind of want to keep the Vampires because the Neonates rush. Pop Decision we're definitely keeping. And we don't have a lot of Vampires, but I'll keep it regardless just because it's a body that can ping something. Yeah, we're definitely keeping this one. I don't love the Famished Foragers, but I think we can keep it because of the Rummage feature. Of these, I think the Drowned Amalgam is probably doing the least. I think we can cut this card. I don't want to cut any more creatures because we're like really low on them. So now we need to cut 2. I think we don't have enough sacrifice effects for the Pax Betrayal to be worthwhile, so we're going to cut that. That's better in the black deck where there's more sacrifice effects. And then we just need to make one more cut here. I think we're going to cut Neonate's Rush as the final card to be cut. I think the effect is a little bit on the weak side. I know that with Stolen Vitality, at least you can win combat. This is, I think, something that comes in from the sideboard. And so then we have 11 spells and 12 creatures. I guess that's good enough for what we're trying to do, and we'll adjust if we need to. So there's the deck. For this deck, we're going to need some lands. It seems to be evenly split between islands and mountains. We have 1 Evolving Wild, so we'll just add 8 and 8. So we have 8 islands, 8 mountains, and here's a deck. I'm going to sleeve it up and play it against the other sealed deck that I will be building. You can check the links in the description box to see links to the games and the sealed deck as well, and the other sealed deck as well. Let me know what you thought about the deck that I built, and if you would have went a different way. I would love to learn from your wisdom. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can hit subscribe. This is Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.